Hi everyone, my name is Vishal Bojani. I'm the founder and director of Magic Institute of Excellence. Today I'm going to cover a very important topic, that is how does investment banking work, what is hedge fund, and what are the different financial instruments which are used. So let's kickstart. I'll be opening a PowerPoint presentation now and I'll be showing you exactly how it works. There we go. Welcome to the world of investment banking. Before I start, let me just give you a small background about myself. So I finished my graduation, and before I finished my graduation, when I was finishing my 10th standard, I had three options in my life: art, science, and commerce. Everybody forced me to do commerce, and so that I landed in a field of commerce. And then I started working into my graduation days. And after my graduation, I was working with a company called TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. After that, I did my MBA in finance from Mumbai, and it's been almost a decade, more than a decade, that I finished my MBA in finance. Since those MBA days, I was very keen, very curious to learn one thing, and that is financial instruments and how do they work in this world of investment banking. My mom always told me that get a job into banking, go into State Bank of India or Axis Bank or Kotak Bank. But I always wished to join a multinational organization, and which was investment banking or hedge funds. So I finished my MBA, and in 2010, I started working with a company called as JP Morgan. I'm sure everybody of you listening to me today are aware about it. It was a wonderful experience. I was a part of fixed income products, more into the money markets, more into the RBI regulatory reporting. Then I was with SS&C Global into hedge funds. And after that, my last assignment was with BNP Paribas, which is a French bank. And I was there in Hong Kong, I was in Paris. Over 2 lakh employees BNP Paribas have. And since 2017, I have founded this organization, Magic Institute of Excellence. Through this, I have trained more than 7,000 students. There are a lot of YouTube links, Instagram links, Facebook links. You guys can watch it out. So we have trained more than 7,000 students, present across more than 50 MBA colleges and engineering colleges. And we have trained more than several students in the domain of finance. Okay, so let's start with investment banking and how it works. History of investment banking. Now, from where it started. So it was old days into 18th centuries. At that time, when US was developing, currently if India is developing country, in those days US was developing and they were needing a lot of funds. So to get the funds, they wanted money from the investors, from the public. But there was an entity in between which ensured that there is trust. Because the people of United States of America were not able to directly trust the government. So in between that came an entity which was called a mediator, a broker, a middleman, and now it is called an investment bank. They ensured that the government repays the money to the public. And in all the events which happened, they ensured that the trust was not broken. It's more than 100 years and this industry is booming and one of the highest paying jobs in the world. A lot of finance aspirants. I'm sure everybody is listening to me right now. Either you're from a CA background or an engineer or a fresh graduate or an MBA in finance. I'm sure that you guys don't want to work in sales. You don't want to sell those demat accounts. But what you are wishing to is to get into this core finance profile, which is more related to financial products like equities, derivatives, bonds, mortgage-backed securities, asset-backed securities, credit rating agencies, how does CRISIL work, and everything. So here's what's there in store for you, which is history of investment banking, followed by these are the various investment banks you guys can work with. We have BNP Paribas, we have Citibank, Credit Suisse, UBS, Morgan Stanley, HSBC, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Barclays, JP Morgan. On the right hand side, if you're seeing on my right, there is Axis, there is Kotak, there is JM Financial, there is ICICI Securities, who has their own investment banking division as well. So one can aspire to also work in Indian companies. Also the MNCs on the left hand side like Credit Suisse City, which are part in India as well. There are companies located in Mumbai, Delhi, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Pune and where not. Where an average package ranges between 4 lakh to 7 lakh for a fresher. And there are immense opportunities for freshers. But how does an investment bank work? So investment bank is a mediator, as I just said a couple of minutes back. On the one side, there is investor, and on another side, there are corporates. If not corporate, it can be a government as well, pension fund as well, a hedge fund as well, or any other corporation. They perform variety of services like trading, asset management, underwriting, and much more. They are the middlemen. They are bridging the gap between both. Their services are very much complex in nature, but they help companies to take financial decisions, and that's their job. Now let's get into what are the core services which they have in a couple of minutes. So they help investors at the initial stage. If someone wants to invest money, they help for IPO as well. So if any IPO is coming, I think a couple of months back an IPO came. I'm sure all of girls who are listening who can connect more. The company name was Nika. It came at a public issue of let's say around 1,000 rupees and it opened at 2,000. Do you think it would have been possible to list an initial public offering without the help of investment banking? The answer is no. You require a mediator so that there is trust, and those investment banks should be registered with SEBI. And there are several like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, BNP Paribas, Goldman Sachs, and many more. Or they help to acquire companies or mergers and acquisitions, buying and selling of companies, Idea and Vodafone. They would have not possible without a mediator, which is an investment bank. 2020, when lockdown was announced in India, Facebook invested 9.99% stake in Reliance Jio. That would have not possible without an entity in between whom both can trust, and that is investment bank. So services are like underwriting services, mergers and acquisition, sales, trading and corporate broking, asset management, and last but not the least, research. These are the different areas where one can work. So these are top 5 investment banks in the world, and they are present in India since more than 15 years. We have Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, and Deutsche Bank. Some of these banks are also a part of retail broking and asset management. And there are some like Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, they are pure investment banks. And there are 4 types of investment banks. Bulge bracket, these are the big ones which I've just named like JP Morgan and all. Second is regional boutique like Aventus and SK Global. Then comes somewhere in between middle market. I'm sure everybody would have heard with a small investment bank like Nomura, which is there in Japan, present across in Mumbai. And then comes elite boutique like Rothschild. So you decide whether you want to make career into bulge bracket, regional boutique, middle market, or elite boutique. A lot of times what finance student lacks is clarity. Okay, I want to take an MBA admission. Is equal to job, people forget the training. I am a graduate. What should I do next? Where will I get the job? Will there be a guarantee? But people stop one process which is called training. You need to get trained, you need to get clarity. Okay, I want to make career in MBA finance. Okay, if it's not sales, what next? Is it core finance? Okay. Types of investors. Should I go into bulge bracket? Should I apply in regional boutique? What are the different companies? Have I followed those companies on LinkedIn? Have I seen the Wikipedia of that company? Is the middle market companies are good or not? Is the elite boutique is there for me or not? What kind of career growth is there? And reading about the companies on their websites. That's how you can enter into the world of investment bank. And this is something your profile. So if you get a job, if you get a chance to work from let's say morning 10 to 7 or afternoon 3 to 9, what kind of profiles would be there I'm discussing? Because it's very important for you to understand what would be your JD. What is JD? A job description. First is client sales and traders. This is more related to front office. These guys identify the trade. They do the trading and they are the core front office which they're dealing in various products like forward, futures, options, swaps, derivatives, then whatnot, cross currency swap, mortgage-backed securities. There is bonds, there's types of bonds. There are convertible bonds, there are masala bonds, there are zero coupon bonds. There is so many things. These guys are the traders. Then comes middle office who assist the traders, who assist the front office like trade capture, trade execution, trade validation, and trade reconciliation. Then comes a very interesting profile which is called back office operations, which is more related to the T+2, T+3 settlement. I'm sure everybody knows what is T+2. In India, if you buy shares through Nifty, any stock, let's say Tata Motors or TCS, anything, if you buy today, it will come in your Demat account after 2 days. So India follows T+2, but Japanese follows T+3, China follows T+1 as well. Then comes reference data, which is more for the new products which get launched in the investment bank. And corporate action is nothing but the babies of the product. That means it can be a dividend on a product. There can be a bonus issue, there can be a split, there can be a mergers and acquisition, there can be a right issue and whatnot. Then comes KYC, know your customer, know your client, which is The team, if you're working in KYC, what you would be doing, you would be onboarding the clients and you would be doing the due diligence, whether that company is good or not, whether should we have a tie-up with them. I hope they don't have any link with any terrorist group or anything. All those due diligence would be done by you. Last but not the least, companies like HSBC have a lot of roles. After 2008-9 recession which came, Lehman Brothers got crashed. There are a lot of movies on Netflix which one can watch, like Big Short and Margin Call. In that, everything is mentioned that how risk and legal team are comprising. So that is a part of risk and legal. Next, life cycle of an equity trade. A trade goes through client order. It goes from starting with this KYC, goes to the front office, trade execution, then the trade gets captured, then comes middle office role, trade confirmation and cash management. Last but not the least, the role of back office, which is cash position and reconciliation and settlements, which is T+2 in India. What will you work on? You'll be working on PowerPoint presentation in Excel. You would be working on meetings. There will be client interaction and there will be more of trade analysis. Now, what do you mean trade analysis? If you're walking into this investment bank, you might get a call from client. You might get a call from front office asking, what is my P&L? What is my net asset value? Can you send me an email? What is my dirty price? What is my clean price? Can you check Bloomberg? Can you check this? Everything, all this is a part of this. Then comes private equity, corporate finance. You can switch anytime from hedge funds to venture capital, or you can have your own venture as well. Then comes another career which is very good for the finance student, which is hedge funds. Now, these hedge funds are somewhat like mutual funds. I'm sure everybody knows mutual funds. In mutual fund, if I'm a mutual fund manager, you give me money, I will invest either in equity or bond. And if the market goes up, you will get money. But in hedge funds, you can also earn money if the market goes down. They invest anywhere and everywhere, wherever there is profit. And in India, soon this market is opening up. And there are more than 12 to 13 players in India who are giving job between 4 to 8 lakhs for a fresher. Since last 10 years, I have worked in this industry for 2.5 years. What I've learned in this industry is one rock solid thing, and that is financial instrument. And how do they work? We have seen one trade, two trade. Our parents might have traded one share, two share. But how does bonds get traded? How does credit default swaps get traded? What is interest rate swap? How does mortgage-backed security look like? 40 to 50% of the population in US, they invest, they trade heavily into this. Investors can be a high net worth individual, a foreign institutional investors, companies, individual, government, they invest heavily into all this. It's more than 5 to 6 trillion industry till 2020. And these hedge funds are not regulated, unlike mutual funds who were regulated. So that's the slight difference. Career progression. You start with an analyst. You go as a senior analyst, associate, assistant vice president, and then it's the last thing, which is director. So what are the different skills needed apart from this? You need people skills, you need communication skills, you need sales skills. When I say sales skills, that means you have to sell yourself in the interview. I'm not talking about the traditional sales. Communication skills, be it verbal, be it non-verbal, like email writing. Ability to synthesize, creative ability, initiative, and how much patience do you have, how much resilient you are. These are the things which are important. 6 steps, as I mentioned, understanding how does investment bank work, preparing a strategy, how do I get in, and last 2 things, making sure that your technical knowledge is immense, which is a financial product, and last, soft skills, which is your communication. So do you really want to be an investment banker? And it comes with knowledge and action, and which is equal to power.